Good morning. My name is Frank Lester, Deputy Treasurer, Communications and Government Affairs here at the Department of State Treasurer. Welcome to the August Ask Me Anything session with Treasurer Dale Folwell. Thank you all for joining us this morning. I know there's a lot going on. I know some folks have had conflicts, but we certainly do appreciate everyone joining us. Without further ado, I'll turn it over to Treasurer Folwell.
Thank you, Frank, and good morning, and thank you for joining us for the August call. We're very excited because since the last time we were together, we've had some really important news come out of the Treasurer's office. Be glad to for you to ask me anything in just a moment as we open it up for questions. But as you know, 3 or 4 weeks ago, we reported our earnings for the last fiscal year in the pension plan. 2 weeks ago, we were in the 7th or 8th inning of completing our refunding of our long-term debt, both general obligation, limited obligation bonds, and as well as Garvey bonds. It looks like the present value savings of all 3 of those refinancings are going to exceed $120 million over the remaining life of those bonds. Thirdly, we announced 10 days ago our recommitment and renewal and extension of our contract with United Healthcare, where even in the face of a issue with a contract that already existed for plan years 16 and 17, and in light of a health insurance premium tax that I was unaware of until 8 weeks ago that was going to be hitting the that product that affected 155,000 retirees who are over the age of 65. Even in light of all that, we were able to keep premiums level for next year, which was a Herculean effort on behalf of the people of the state health plan as well as the United Healthcare and all of our partners. So with that, I'll open it up for questions, Frank.
Great. Thank you, Treasurer. Let's begin with Travis Fain, WRAL. Travis, you join us?
Good morning. Thanks for holding the call. I think it's a good idea to hold a routine call like this. My question is about the merger between Vidant and the Brody Medical School, and this is something I'm kind of just looking at, so I don't know a ton about it, but I understand your office has been asking some questions about upstate employees who are going to be affected out there. Is there a latest and greatest you can tell me about that?
Great question, Travis. Some of you who are on this call have heard me use the T.S. Eliot quote that hell is where nothing connects. And this is a perfect example. This is not hell. This is a perfect example of where all this stuff connects at the Treasurer's office. Obviously, your questions regarding ECU and Vidant, and that not only impacts us as an employer of people, it also impacts as an employer of people, it also impacts the pension plan and the state health plan. More importantly, which is not wasn't your question, is I'm making sure as to how this impacts another part of the Treasurer's office called the Local Government Commission. If bonds had been issued and sanctioned and endorsed by the Local Government Commission for the issuance of debt, and we're doing our due diligence right now to make sure that those covenants are still intact, and the things that we endorsed where people have confidence in buying those bonds and certainty as far as getting their principal and their interest back. So we're looking at it both as an employer of people, number one, how it impacts the state health plan, the state pension plan, and also how it impacts the Local Government Commission. At the end of the day, Travis, there's a lot of words here that I'm getting ready to use and start with the word P. There's policy, and obviously there was a policy decision for this merger to proceed. There's some respects politics involved in any decision like this, but at the end of the day, as far as the Treasurer's office is concerned, it's about people, and those people are the state employees who currently are state employees, to make sure that we fully understand what their transition might look like.
Travis, you got a follow-up?
Do you feel like information is flowing? I think, they signed that agreement, and now there's supposed to be 18 months of, I guess, actual contract writing. Are you getting what you need to judge the deal, information-wise?
As you and others know, I'm a mental hoarder of information. I've not hoarded all the information that I would desire regarding this deal. I need to better understand it, and it's not something you can just look at a flip chart or an Excel spreadsheet and figure out how it all relates. I anticipate, obviously we've had a very big month here at the Treasurer's Office since our last call, and I anticipate being able to spend more energy on this in the fall, which will include a visit by me to Greenville.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Travis. Okay. Will Doran, News and Observer.
Yeah, hi there. I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm new to the beat, so hello.
Hi, Will.
And hi. Second, I had a question. The bond sales in the past month, first the 15 million, then after that the 83 or 84 million. What is the timeline for those savings? Are we talking 20 years, 10 years? What kind of time span are we looking at for those savings?
Great question, and Will, welcome, and look forward to meeting you and spending more time with you. We had a fantastic relationship with the person that you're succeeding, and we look forward to that continuing. We will, at the end of this call, before noon today, we will send you a schedule that shows the annual savings of all of the bonds related to your question. But the 120 million, which now includes all three tranches of these bonds, I believe, if my memory is correct, the longest maturity on those were 14 years. And the shortest maturity, I think, was a year and a half. So all of these $120 million worth of savings will occur no sooner than a year from now and no later than probably 14 years from now. But we will give you a schedule of the GO bonds, a schedule of the limited obligation bonds, and a schedule of the Garvey bonds, and show you by calendar year where those savings are, and be glad to provide that to you electronically. Also,
great, thank you.
There's a little bit of a nuance on the Garveys, probably something you might be more familiar with than I am, but part of the Garvey program is funded by the federal government. So the real question about where some of those, a little bit of those savings, who that savings quote belongs to, is if you need get more granular on that, we'll be glad to help you, because Garvey is a federal program. I do want to take an opportunity to say that even as we are starting and stopping legislative sessions, that we continue, regardless of what the topic at hand is, we continue to push for our solvency fund. Some rating agencies, I can't tell you which ones, have expressed a real interest in how we're really trying to take the national lead in solving these unfunded healthcare and pension liabilities. And Will, how that relates to your question is that the bucket that was going to be used to fill the solvency fund, part of that bucket was going to come from interest savings on the refinancing of debt. So we're continuing to push the Senate. It passed the House unanimously. We think it's a national leading item. We should have some place for savings that we have and other types of monies to go, so that we can start pre-funding these OPEB and pension liabilities. It's important for two reasons that I mentioned that. Number one, because I get this question all the time, how did all this happen all of a sudden about these unfunded liabilities? The city of Winston-Salem knew this 32 years ago. They started putting money aside 33 decades ago toward their liability. It has tens and tens of millions of dollars in it. just the city of Winston-Salem. The city of Charlotte picked up on this about a quarter of a century ago under Mayor Vinroot. It's just something the state has never addressed, acknowledged, or taken care of. Secondly, it's very important as we go forward, and the rating agencies are and they did it just in the last review where we were honored to receive the triple again. The rating agencies are starting to use a more strict assumed rate of return on these pension assets, even more strict than we're using internally. And I know it's early on Tuesday morning, but the lower the discount rate that you use looking out in the future, the bigger impact it has on the, quote, fundedness of your pension plan. So we think this is a debt solvency fund is a win-win. We think that being able to refinance debt at lower rates of interest are good for everybody across the state, whether you're an advocate for classrooms or criminal justice or roads. And we think actually acknowledging, addressing, and doing something about these unfunded liabilities through our debt solvency fund is how all this stuff connects.
Will, you got a follow-up?
No, that covers it. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And Will, we have your email address? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you.
Great. Thank you, Will. Excuse me. Ria Rao with Money Management Report.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Hello?
Yes, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Go ahead, Ria.
So good to talk to you, Treasurer. I'm actually new on the beat as well. So I appreciate this session. My question was, regarding your CIO's departure. Now, what kind of CIO, for your new CIO, what would be his or her top priorities or specific goals that you have in mind?
Well, the director of the investment management division's strategies are not going to be any different than mine or anyone else that works at the Office of State Treasurer, and that is we are reducing complexity and building value for our participants who, as a fiduciary, we have a duty of care to do that. Secondly, we're starting to introduce a couple of other words that start with S, especially regarding the pension plan, and that is simplifying it and making it more sustainable. And so those requirements of who will be the leading that effort, those requirements were no different under Kevin as they will be over anybody who will have those responsibilities in the future. I will tell you that we're going to be putting out a press release shortly about the announcing 2 interim people who have stepped up to the plate, long track records within the agency to oversee during this transition process. We're very excited about that, especially knowing the integrity and the ability and the passion of these 2 individuals. And then, so that's the next step. That'll be an interim step to as far as managing the investment division.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Ria, do you have a follow-up?
Yeah. What's the timeline by which you hope to get a new CIO in the office?
I don't have a public timeline right now. We just want to make the announcement regarding the interim. And as soon as we have a timeline, we'll be glad to share that with you. Where are you based out of, Ria?
New York.
New York. Okay. Well, we I don't know if other state treasurers have a call like this every month where you can ask them anything, but we're very excited to have you on the call. And if you're in this neck of the woods for any reason, would love to see you if you're down this way.
Oh, definitely. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ria. Okay, thank you, Treasurer. Would you like to wrap up?
Thank you for participating. We're glad to have Will and Ria and the other new and old participants. We look forward to doing this again next month. We'll be hard pressed to have the kind of good news that we had on this call versus the one next month, but we're working hard to have some announcements. We're in the middle of our third-party administration analysis for the state health plan, which is not the 65-year-old and above retirees. It's all the active employees. It's a contract that comes up every 5 years. We're in the middle of negotiations regarding actuarial services and a lot of big invisible things that people don't wake up in the morning thinking about, but it has a huge impact going forward. At the end of the day, I'll just remind you of something I've said on this call before, that of all the constitutional and statutory responsibilities and duties of the state treasurer, at the end of the day, we're in the check delivering business. And behind a person's faith and their family and their health, for over 1 out of 10 adult North Carolinians, we have the responsibility for the next two most important things in their life, which is their pension and their health care. And we take all that very seriously. We've been excited about the reductions that we have demonstrated in fees. We just had a major, our largest asset manager, who agreed to cut their internal fees on the index fund to 1/2 of 1 basis point. That's not 100 basis points. It's not 1,000 basis points. That's 1/2 of 1 basis point. So the ability to reduce complexity and build value for the participants is very important to us, and we hope to have some more further good news to report to you in September. I will tell you as a precursor that because of the contracts that I inherited and what has happened to some asset class valuations that you all see on the news every day and read about in the paper and probably are seeing in your own portfolios, there are many instances where these fund managers are cashing out, and when they're cashing out for the first time, they're starting to, in some cases, earn their quote performance fee. So we're going to do an outstanding job as we start to talk more about these fee reductions. We're going to be very clear about there are performance fees that are embedded in these contracts that have never before been earned by these investment managers, and we're going to be very clear, of which we have no control over. We're going to be very clear as we go forward on these fee reductions that if there are performance fees associated that we're going to be paying out, one-time fees, we're going to be delineating those going forward.